You have to make a text box.
You have to make a text
I am.
Okay, first make the text box, open it up, and then announce.
Please make sure you write your names. Please make sure you write your names afterwards.
It's not letting me write it. Oh, yeah, it's not text box.
Is everybody writing?
What am I? Yeah.
Who's in mine? Sydney.
Who deleted mine?
No one.
No one.
Someone deleted my text
Who's
box.
writing my text box?
Listen, don't write in anybody else's boxes, even if you have the same name and you can delete it, don't.
Who's writing my text box? Who's in my cat?
Someone's writing my text box. Yeah.
Who's writing my text
Someone's
box?
writing my text
You're
box.
using somebody else's text boxes. Next name.
Who is Niall's cat? You know who you are. I got it. I'm in the text box. I'm an
We're all different. I don't know what I am. We're all different. Everyone's different.
No, you're wrong. No, there is. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You
guys,
No, I'm not. Everyone's different.
No,
Guys, stop. I'm reading this already.
You're taking a lot in
Who's anonymous nine cat? Who did that? Oh. So we're gonna do it?
Deb.
Guys, we can only insert one.
Okay.
Deb.
Where's Debbie?
Yeah.
He's typing that.
Cool. Deb,
But Jack,
can we just take a second to go over like basic respect over the internet, because people are deleting other people's things, and it's not making this. People are working hard on some parts, and people aren't respecting that. And if we know who they are, then maybe they can't use the laptop for today.
anonymous Kraken.
Who's the anonymous Kraken?
Spencer.
Release the anonymous Kraken.
Spencer.
Right. It was two times then. No, but we changed it.
Okay, so take another 1 minute to write anything you know about Israel. We don't have any. Make sure you please write your name.
Make sure you sign it.
I'm hitting the anonymous guy. Sydney, you'll be fine. It's wrong.
I'm a moose. Wait, what am I? Wait, what am I? Where was yours? Where is it?
I'm using both.
Where's yours?
I signed it.
Cindy, which one's yours? Let me think. Which one?
What's my mom?
Which one's yours?
Anonymous Kraken.
Yeah, Cindy, this is not. This is not how. Where's your phone?
No, don't do
Wait, am I stuck to yours on that? Am I stuck to yours? You want to see Cindy? Cindy, is this yours? Cindy, is this yours?
I am trying to
Okay, so Cindy, you got.
No, I really don't.
Who cares?
That,
There's so
No,
many.
that's where is that?
Okay. So, all right. So right now we're gonna read. If you guys can just look at my screen, or look at the screen in front of you. There's a number of things up here which we have picture people wrote. Barry, do you want to just say what you wrote? Barry?
Yeah.
Do you want to read what you wrote?
What I wrote.
What's there? What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
It's leaking out.
No, what did you, can you read what you wrote, please?
Aaron, read what you wrote.
And don't
What?
come right up
You
here.
read what you wrote.
I was put it in front here.
Where's
I will do it again. Hold on. I'm gonna sign in with my account again.
Okay, you know what? I'll just go over this. Can you guys hear me?
Wait, they signed me up. Could I just sign in with my account?
No, I stopped everyone's ability to be able to post.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're done. I want to go over this. Okay, so what you guys see here, so an interesting thing is probably the most famous part about Jerusalem is what Barry wrote, that they have a wall that is part of the original temple. That's a really important. Does anyone know what that wall is called? That wall is called the Kotel, which is which means a wall. It's called the Western Wall. Does anyone know why it's called the Western Wall? Anyone know why it's called the Western Wall?
Because it's the west wall of the temple.
Exactly. Very simple. Very, very simple. It was the western part of the temple. Okay, great. We have other parts. Someone wrote it, the city of the gold dome. That's almost a correct answer. It's not called the city of the gold dome, but just the city of gold. There's a famous song called Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, which means Jerusalem, the city of gold. Great. I think Jason wrote something great. People believe that they have all different faiths. So that's true thing. I think what you maybe meant to write was that all people of different faiths come to Jerusalem to pray, that it's a place really for everyone. And that's a very true thing. I'm telling you, living here, I see people from all over the world come to the Kotel, come to the Western Wall. So it's a really important thing. This is interesting. Emily, and how do you pronounce your name?
Lucretia.
Lucretia. You want to just talk a little bit about what you wrote? Because I've never heard this.
There is a myth that under the Golden Dome there are treasures, but the Muslims won't let the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right.
I feel like scrolls under the Golden Dome, but
Right.
they're not allowed to dig under.
Okay, that's a really good point, and I want to just clarify what you wrote. It's not that there's treasures, or maybe people would define them as treasures, but there's definitely, there's ideas that things that were in the first temple or the second temple, if there was excavation allowed at that site, potentially could be found. So it's not like buried treasure or something like that. It's like things that belong to those time periods. Yeah, there's a hand up.
At night, the Jerusalem stone looks like gold.
At night, the Jerusalem stone's like gold. I guess, meaning I look at it, it doesn't maybe off of light, but when I look at it, interesting fact, every building in Jerusalem has to be built with Jerusalem stone. What is Jerusalem stone? That's something else I don't really know, but everything has to be built with Jerusalem stone. So I want to show you something because you guys get a little bit educated about what's going on in Israel. Why do people kill each other? Why are people angry at each other? What's going on here? So let me show you an image of the Temple Mount. Okay, how do I do this? I think this is a good picture. Okay, this is probably the best thing I can show you. Is everyone looking at my screen? Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay. Now listen up, because unless you're going to take the time yourselves to learn this, you're not going to learn this. Okay. So Jerusalem is a major city, right? It's a very large city. It has the highest population in Israel. It consists of both Jews and Muslims, and it's a very highly contested place. One of the reasons why I told you, because it's in the West Bank, part of the West Bank. Okay. Now let's look at what we see. So why is it such a place? Because there's an area in Jerusalem called the Old City. Do you see where it says the Old City? Right over here?
Yeah.
You guys see the Old City? Hello?
Yes. 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 We can see it.
You can see it. Okay. I want to just make sure. Great. That's better. Let's use a different color. I'll use red. Okay. So that's the Old City. So what we have here, so then you have the Old City. The Old City is divided into 4, think of it, squares. Only here, you see the Muslim square, Muslim quarter over there. You have the Jewish quarter over here. Are you guys following? Okay, and in this area, I'll just use a different color. In this area, this is divided between the Armenian and Christian quarter. So there's, in this very, very small area, a very considered important area in Jerusalem, there are 4, I would say 3 of the major religions in this world, and the Armenian, which is an important nationality, who are residing, who have claim to these places. Boom. You got that. Any questions about that?
No.
No, so it's very important that you understand that. That means it's not like, I don't know what you guys picture about Israel, but it's not like Muslims are in one area, Jews are not. Like in this, everyone is sort of living together and really close by, right? This looks far, but it's not that far. It's probably like a 5-minute walk from Jewish quarter to Muslim quarter. Great. Why is it such a significant area? Because the temple was here. Where was the temple? This was the temple, the size of a football field. Literally. You could have played the Super Bowl here. All right? We got that?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's continue. So, let me just get my marker back. Okay. Now, everybody knows the Dome of the Rock, right? Everyone sees pictures of Jerusalem. Oh, it's the Dome of the Rock. It's got a gold kippah. This, which people don't, and I'm going to tell you this because I literally only learned this last year, this is not the holy site for Muslims. This is not the holy site. Okay? This is, meaning it's just like you go to temple or you go to synagogue, right? We all have, it's a holy site, it's a holy place because it's a mosque, and mosques to Muslims are holy. What's the holy place? Here. The Al-Aqsa Mosque. Right here. This Al-Aqsa Mosque, that is the place that they consider to be the holy site for them. Okay. Why did they build that? Not so sure. I guess they just wanted to have another place. But only Muslims are allowed to go into this mosque. That's a very important thing. Only Muslims. Great. What's so special about this? This area is called, as it says, the Temple Mount over here. Okay? The Temple Mount is where the Jewish temple, in Hebrew known as the Beit HaMikdash, the House of Holy, was located. If you look closely, can you guys see, and you can tell me if you're not following, but do you guys see this area where I'm putting the brown?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. What does this look like to you? That area? Yes, with the hand up in the front?
It looks like that these temple in the Muslim quarter, they're like up on the sky, and then all the there's land on the bottom.
Awesome. Great. What this is, and this is what I want to explain to everyone. This area, why is it called the Temple Mount? What does the word mount mean? Yeah, hand?
It means mountain.
Mountain, right. Meaning it's the highest spot. We can't really see it here, but the idea is that it all goes up to the Temple Mount, right? Just like sort of like holiness, you go up in holiness, so you're walking up, right? It's like this sort of consciousness, an idea. And really, how do you get this flat? How do you make something flat? Sort of just like a little archaeology, why not? They actually they took dirt and all these type of things and built up, and then they flattened the land. And that's what you had here. But you have to understand that all these areas, like what I'm going to draw right now, all this over here, people lived there. People still live there. I live like over here. Okay? So this is very important. People would come up here. Question in the front, yeah.
How did they get up? Like, how did the people go up?
So there's two ways that now there's like, it's very easy to get to. You sort of just walk through the different quarters and you get there. You can either walk through the Jewish quarter, through the Muslim quarter, and you can get there. The way they used to was like a huge trek. It was very difficult, but it was so important. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but it's really cool if you ever visit. So right over here, and this is what I want to talk about. Right over here, do you guys see where I'm doing the blue?
Yeah.
Everyone see where I'm doing the blue?
Yeah.
So this area, that is called the Western Wall, and it says that. Why is it a holy site? Why do people care about it? Because it was considered that over here, where it says Temple Mount, I'll do it in a different color, over here, this was the site of the holiest place in the temple. And this wall is the closest place where Jews can pray, like at closest to this location. So there's nothing really holy about this site of itself, even though people from all over the world flocked here. It's just because it's in close proximity, right? There's tons of walls. I'll show you. This is the Western Wall. This is the Southern Wall. This is the Eastern Wall. And this is the Northern Wall, right? It's just a wall. But because of its proximity, its closeness to the holy place of the Temple Mount, that's why it's holy. So what's going on today? What's happening today? The Temple Mount is in control of the Palestinian Authority. The Palestinians own it. The Israeli state conquered this land in 1967. Raise your hand if you've ever been to Israel before. Okay, so my guess is you guys been to Jerusalem?
Yes.
Right, okay. Before 1967, you could not come to this area. This was off, you couldn't come here. It was all, no one was allowed to come here. It was all in the hands of the Muslims, of the Palestinians. But when we attacked Jerusalem, and the 1967 will have a whole discussion about it itself, we conquered this land. We ended up giving back the Temple Mount for many political reasons. But to this day, Jews are not allowed going up there to pray. Jews can go up there on certain days and in certain ways, but it's not very easy. But that belongs to the Muslims. And this is like probably the most hotly contested geographical location in the entire world, right? This little area, this little football field, where the Broncos could have beat, beat Cam Newton, right? This area, causes so many political issues. It's unbelievable, right? But what I wanted to show you, besides this, just a little bit of like a history lesson, how the most holy place for the Jewish people is also a place for the Muslim people. And this is this is a representation of what goes on in Israel, right? That Muslim and Jews share, but also are divided by how much should they share. If you can understand what I'm saying, right? There's a shared location, but how much do you want to share? It's sort of like, you buy a chocolate bar and your friend asks you for some. you want to give him, you don't know how much. And you're like, when he takes a little more, you get a little mad. Think of that, but like a real issue and how difficult. Are there any questions before we continue? No? Okay. I want to show you a video, short video. Hopefully my sound will work on this because it's not the greatest thing when you guys are showing. Tell me if you hear this. Wait.
But the temple is destroyed by the Babylonians.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
You guys hear this?
Yes.
Okay, so watch this and we'll learn something. 4,000 years in 5 minutes. Can you hear?
Jerusalem.
You guys can hear? Can you guys hear?
All the girls are acting. Every single one of the girls is acting up. I'm not surprised. Sorry about that. No one can be surprised.
A historical
Can you guys hear the video?
Yeah. Yeah.
journey through archaeology and art. Jerusalem, a mosaic of different peoples, faiths, and nationalities. Nevertheless, despite this diversity, under the sovereignty of Israel, Jerusalem is a city that works. But has it always been this way? The first historical mention of Jerusalem is in the Bible, in the era of the patriarchs. King David declares Jerusalem as Israel's capital, known from that point on also as Zion. His son King Solomon builds the first temple. But the temple is destroyed by the Babylonians, and the Jews are exiled. King Cyrus's declaration enables the Jews to return and rebuild the temple. Alexander the Great's conquests include Jerusalem. However, his successors desecrate the temple, which leads to the Maccabees' revolt against the Greeks' imposition of Hellenism. The Roman Empire seizes control, and King Herod renovates the temple. A large-scale revolt against a corrupt and vicious Roman reign fails. The Second Temple is destroyed, and the Jews are banned from Jerusalem. 60 years pass, and Bar Kokhba leads another revolt for the freedom of Jerusalem. But it fails after 3 years of battle. Jews are banned from the city, renamed by the Romans Aelia Capitolina, in order to eradicate its Jewish heritage. Roman Emperor Constantine converts to Christianity and reinforces the ban on Jews entering Jerusalem. A new religion, Islam, sweeps through the Middle East. Non-Muslims are declared second-class citizens. Crusaders conquer Jerusalem in a bloodbath of Jews and Muslims. 2,000 Jews are burnt alive in the main synagogue, and the city is depopulated of its previous inhabitants. The first organized mass Jewish return arrives from France and England. The Mamluks defeat the Christian kingdom of Jerusalem, and building and renovating of synagogues and churches is banned. The great Mishnai commentator Rabbi Ovadia of Bartanura settles in Jerusalem. The Ottoman Empire takes over, imposing restrictions on Jews and Christians, and Sultan Suleiman rebuilds the walls. But as the empire declines, Jerusalem is badly neglected. Still, the Jewish people stream back, build new neighborhoods, and re-establish their majority by 1863. World War I breaks out. The Ottoman Empire collapses and makes room for a new Middle East. The British Foreign Secretary, Arthur James Balfour, declares the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people. Britain receives a mandate to create a Jewish homeland, but forbids Jews from blowing the shofar or reading holy scrolls at the Western Wall. Thousands of Muslims are incited to unleash an attack against Jews in Jerusalem and Hebron. 86 Jews are brutally murdered, hundreds are wounded. UN Resolution 181 declares Jerusalem as a corpus separatum, a separate entity. A Jewish state is declared as Jerusalem is put under siege, conquered and divided. 58 synagogues are destroyed or desecrated. Harsh limitations are imposed on Jews and Christians for 19 years. The Six-Day War. Jerusalem is reunited and freedom and equality are restored. Throughout history, only Israel has protected the freedom of all peoples and faiths in Jerusalem.
Okay. Just tell me some things that popped out while watching this. What like themes or things that came out while you were watching this? Yeah.
The Islam thing, they destroyed the wall, and they didn't really destroy it. They just made the Jerusalem, Jewish people, and like that. They made them like go.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else stick out of the video stick out in anyone's mind? Yeah. Your hands up.
I think it was 58 synagogues were destroyed.
38 synagogues. Okay. Cool. Anything else?
No.
All right. So you guys are all right. One of the things which I want you to pay particularly close attention to is how many different rulers there were over Israel. From the video, can you guys remember any of the different nationalities that ruled over Israel? Yeah, just say them out.
4.
No, not a number. Just give me the names that you heard. Some of them. Yeah.
Judaism. There's the Muslim faith.
Right, Muslims. What other people?
Catholicism.
No, not religions, nationalities.
The Roman, Muslim.
Right, we had the Romans, we had the Muslims, there were the Greeks, there were the Ottomans, there were the British, Babylonians, the Persians. Israel was ruled by like even more than that, like 10 to 15 different nationalities from its time. But one of the things which remained steadfast the entire time is throughout all these people, throughout all these different nations, there were always Jews in the land of Israel. And even more than that, Jerusalem was always a center to all these places, right? You guys read that King David made his new kingdom in the city of Jerusalem. And there's actually a place in Jerusalem you can go visit today called the City of David, where it's an entire excavation site which they believe was the kingdom of David. And so these are all really important things to know about Jerusalem. If you go back to the haiku, what I'd like you to do is to please go to this lino board. I'll share my screen with you. There's a lino board here. And we've used lino boards, right?
Yes.
So we're going to go to this lino board.
Yes, we know how to do that.
And in it, there's, right? Someone already wrote right in the middle of it. That's not very helpful. So did any of you do that? Because if you did, if you can please move it.
Click where it says click here.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Barry's got it.
Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure we go to the right thing. Should go on. Okay, I think this is what it's called. Yeah. This one it? All right. All right. It just see. Okay. So here's our 3 maps. Examine these maps of Jerusalem and answer the following questions. So what I'd like you to do is examine these 3 maps. Can you tell which one of the maps are ancient and which one are modern? And what is this one similarity and one difference between these maps? So look at all these maps. Look at them a bit. Which ones are modern? Which ones are old? And what is the similarities and differences between them? And please, and the way you write is you take a Post-it and please make sure you write your name. If you're not going to write your name, then the post isn't as helpful. Okay? So take the next 3 to 4 minutes to do this. I'd love to see a lot of Post-its. Okay. Well, there's a lot of maps all over. Can you take another 2 to 3 minutes? I don't see any responses so far yet.
I did it.
Okay, you did?
No responses came up yet. Maybe I'll refresh my page. Oh, we have one. Barry, thank you.
There it is. That's the one. Barry, that's yours.
So we have another response. Okay, someone wrote something but didn't write their name. Others are doing well. Thank you. I appreciate everyone being very respectful. Okay, we got more. You guys, just remember not to post on other people. Remember, please write your name. So it's very simple. Please write your name. Okay. While everyone's responding, what I'd like to just note about these maps is where Jerusalem is located. And it's located in the center of this map. So you look at this map, and this ancient one, right? You have Europe, Africa, Asia, and right in the middle is Jerusalem, right? And this is the way it's really viewed, that Israel is, and you see here over here, right, that everyone is going to Jerusalem. It's considered a place that attracts people. It's considered a place that brings people together. Well, saw from that video, so many different nationalities had to have a stake here, right? Jerusalem is really a place for all people. It's one of the reasons, as I said before, right? Hold on, I want to just mute you guys because I hear my echo, right? It's a place where not only is it for the Jewish people, but it's for everyone. And that's what makes it so difficult, because it's sort of like that push and pull of it's ours, but we're sharing it with others, right? We want people to come. We want people to visit. We want all religions to come and pray and do whatever they want, all nationalities. This is very important for us, right? But also at the same time, like, since it belongs to us, how do you share it, right? And that's where we have difficulties with. Are there any questions on that? Okay, so we're back at the haiku. What I'd like you to do on this section is somewhat personal, but you'll see there's a discussion board. It says in the discussion board, please write, what does Jerusalem mean to you? So here, you're going to click here. You're going to go over here to new post or create new post. You're going to subject it, Jerusalem. And then you're going to write your reason. What does Jerusalem mean to you? And then you go post, and then it shows up like this. And it would be great if people could respond to one another. So let's take the next 2 to 3 minutes to do that. I'd love people to see what people think. Where did your whole class go?
Just some of them have to work on something. This is good though. This is a much more focused group though. Yes, exactly.
Wait, who put the one yellow?
The yellow? Who put the yellow
I can't
sticky?
see the Andy did.
Wait, what?
Andy, just move that yellow one a little because you can't see it.
It's on the piece.
You able to do it?
Trying to keep flagging in the bad stuff.
I don't see anyone else's responses. Would love to see.
Yes, it does. Just let me have to keep focusing.
Okay, let's see what people wrote to them. Again, I'm still the only person that wrote. Are other people writing?
Yeah. Who else has finished writing? Thank you so much. Come finish up. Here, Victoria, she has a really nice happy birthday.
No, they.
Yeah. How old are you? It disappeared. Oh my goodness.
So we have a lot of good responses so far. Let's look at some of them.
Post these, post them.
Right. So Benjamin, Jerusalem's to be a city of peace, and everybody. As long as no one is kicked out, Palestinians should, because they stab and crash cars. Okay, Barry, I think you wrote like a really. I don't want this to go unnoticed. What you wrote. Is this how you view Jerusalem?
Yeah.
As a place of violence?
Well, not totally. A little bit.
Interesting. Right. It's really one of the parts. Right. This year's been quite a violent year in Jerusalem. Right. To say that Palestinians should be kicked out, it's a really difficult thing because it's not Palestinians who are doing this. Right. See, people don't understand the differences between Palestinians and Israeli Arabs. It's sort of like saying like that all Jews are the same, that all Muslims and Arabs are the same. Right? It's a lot more difficult than that, right?
It's
but I'm happy you shared your honest opinion, but it's something that we'll talk about later because, right, the question is, people are like, oh, why don't we just kick them out? Because it's not Palestinians. It's Israeli Arabs. It's people of Israeli citizenship who are doing this. Benjamin wrote, it's a place of peace. Thank you. Daniel wrote, also, it's the center of Jewish religion. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone. At the bottom, on your own time, there's a song by Matisyahu called Jerusalem, If I Jerusalem. And he takes lyrics from the Bible and he applies it to like a modern reggae cool song. So I think we're going to end here. Thank you guys for finishing off the class really well. We started off a little bit rough, but hopefully we'll continue and get better and better each class. All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye.